the mid-Atlantic where we've got those thunderstorms lined up. Unfortunately, that's going to be some bad news for airport travelers. We've got ground stops at D.C. I think it's Dulles. We've got them at Baltimore, and we've got them at some of the New York City area airports as well, and more thunderstorms advancing closer to that I-95 corridor. So we look at northern sections of Vermont, also Maine, where we've got some severe weather alerts in effect. We look at the Caledonia, Lamoille, and Orleans Parish here on 91. So Interstate 91 right up by the U.S.-Canada border. We've got a few severe thunderstorms lined up. These ones are going to produce hail and perhaps some gusty, damaging winds that could bring down some trees. Heavy rain has been the problem here in Essex County, so not far from Saranac Lake. Just a few spotty showers left over there. Some of the heavier rain along Interstate 87. Watch for water covering the roadway. We've seen more of those flash flood warnings popping. We've got some now in that area with the severe storms around northern Vermont. So that persistent heavy downpour activity has prompted problems there. Up in northern Maine, we've got our severe and flash flood warnings also in effect. So today, the risk of severe weather is going to be more isolated, very similar to what we have now. You notice there's not widespread severe storms, but there are a few warnings. I think we'll keep that going through the rest of today. Talking Maine all the way down to the mid-Atlantic, and of course that's going to slow things down at the airport. So unfortunately, travel trouble could be the name of the game here on this Friday. A lot of you trying to get out for a long weekend may be waiting a little bit longer at the airport terminals. Afternoon looks like this. Again, a little bit more coverage. Not every storm you see will be a severe storm, but several could be, and getting close to the airports, getting close to the major highways, that'll slow folks down. Overnight, less activity. We lose the daytime heating. We lose a lot of the action closer to the coast. Around the Great Lakes, though, you can see by tomorrow afternoon, more showers and thunderstorms through the Ohio Valley and some of those beach locations, Mike, Jersey Shore, Delaware, Maryland beaches, and Virginia as well.
Yeah, definitely keeping an eye on these areas. We definitely have some
parts of the state as well. So North Country, New York, New England. We've even seen severe weather, quarter-sized hail, 60-plus mile-per-hour winds. Not to mention all the heavy downpours. That's also prompting some flash flooding. Now, Albany, again, you've seen a little activity around. Right now, most of it is to the west, more of the, punchier stuff with the heavier downpours, the frequent lightning. We've seen some of that over towards Oneonta. We've got storms moving into the Lehigh Valley. We've got storms in Reading, PA. We've got storms around Baltimore. That's prompted a ground stop for a time at BWI 95, about to get drenched. And you're going to see the flashes of lightning at times nearly nonstop. A lot of lightning out of the storms today. That's causing problems at the airport, and you can see those storms continue to creep closer to places like New York City, again, like Albany, Philadelphia. You'll likely see some thunderstorms around, so that's going to prompt some more airport delays at these airports. Severe weather, not an overwhelming risk, but I do think that we'll see, just like what we've got right now, some severe storms throughout the afternoon and into the early evening. So not every storm will be warned, but a few of the storms will be warned. Gusty winds and hail, but each and every storm is going to produce lightning, is going to produce heavy downpours, so travel will be affected later today on the interstates, the local roadways, and at the airports as well. Moving into tomorrow morning, we start off quiet, but we will watch for more shower and thunderstorm development. Very hit or miss, very summer-like out there. Got to keep an eye to the sky if you're planning to be at the beaches, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, all the way down towards Virginia and North Carolina. With the storms comes more travel issues, whether on the road or in the air. Today, we've seen those delays starting to pile up already, 2,600 plus delays. Now, this comes on the heels of a tough Thursday out there. These were yesterday's delays and cancellations. Over 7,600 flights delayed nationally, almost 300 canceled. Denver saw some of the worst of the trouble. Remember, this time yesterday, we were talking about the storms that were going to fire around Denver. They did. That slowed things down at the airport. Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Bush, Intercontinental also seeing significant delays, followed by Atlanta and Chicago. And unfortunately, here during the summer months, we oftentimes see those storms during the afternoon and evening hours. Why sometimes we say, hey, if you're looking to book a flight, morning always best. I'll show you some proof to that in just a moment. Here's your radar recap around the Denver area. Again, it doesn't have to be a storm right over the airport, but close enough that lightning's going to lead to the issue. So why we saw the numbers ticking up in Denver. Dallas area, look at the afternoon and evening, right around late afternoon, early evening, those dinner time hours. We saw those storms fire up near the airport, and it wasn't just Dallas, it was Houston as well. Although for Houston, you saw the showers and thunderstorms throughout much of the day. So by mid to late morning, you saw things begin to bubble up, and it was persistent through the afternoon. Look at the radar yesterday morning. So 8 o'clock in the morning, things were good in Chicago, Denver, Dallas, Atlanta, D.C., Philly, New York, Boston, all dry. But we fast forward, we get to 7 o'clock, and now we've got much more of that thunderstorm activity across sections of the west and the east. And so these storms are going to be more of those towering cumulus clouds, those stronger updrafts. Planes can't go through those. Now, they can go through the rain. Obviously, you've taken off during some rain shower action. You can't take off with thunderstorms around. Too aggressive are updrafts and also downdrafts coming out of those storms. So that leads to the delays. Not to mention when lightning gets too close to the airport, you're not taking off. But year to date, when we look at arrival delays from 2014 to current, you see we lead the pack. Now, this has to be adjusted given how many flights. Actually, 2014 was number one. In relation to the number of flights, the delays were a highest percentage. But 2023 now at the number 2 spot with percentage of flights delayed. So we've seen a lot of problems. And if you're thinking, it seems like a lot of flights have been delayed, you're not wrong. Maybe you're watching us from one of those New England, New York airports, even mid-Atlantic. Get the 9-ounce one. You're going to be there for a minute. We're back after this.